build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty.
Good evening, I'm Colin.
How you doing, Colin?
I sound a lot better. I'm hoping I sound a lot better for the few thousand that listen, because I've changed the headset again.
You had the feedback, didn't you? It sounded like you were in a tunnel.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you sound all right to me when we record it. So I don't know if it's something that's happening in post-production or whatever, but
maybe we should listen back in future. I can't bear it though.
Fuck that.
I can't bear it.
Is that a couple of fannies talking shite?
I was on a recorded call. I was on a recorded call the day at work, and I had to dial off and then dial back on, and I missed 30 minutes yet because I had an errand. So I went back in to catch up later, and I had to get to the bit where I had asked the question before I left, so I had to hear myself asking it. I think, is that what I sound like?
Aye.
For fuck's sake, it's horrendous.
It's horrible, listening to you.
Yeah.
Right, do you know what happens right, with Shortbangers? Like, folks send in questions, right? So if you're new to Shortbangers, because we have got some new folk have tuned in over the last couple of weeks, people tweet us questions and then we read them. Sometimes we didn't get through them all, and we endeavour, with the best intentions, Colin, to catch up on them. And quite often, I forget to go back to the old ones. So we've got questions here that somebody was sitting going, those fucking dicks never asked my question. We still keep them. So I'll go back to December.
What do we do with the shite ones? Do we do them as well, though?
Generally.
Just dismiss them during the show.
Aye, generally. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that we read them out anyway, because if we say no, we curate them and we only did the good ones, there's guaranteed to be folk going, fucking hell, these are the good ones. So, it's like Anchorman, isn't it? We read anything off the auto cue. It's just it's the question, and more or less anything. We didn't always read them, and the ones that we'll not read kind of so much these days is like the Hibs related ones that we'll keep for long bangers if we remember to read them out. Anyway, right. So 21st of December, Colin, Ian T has asked, gardening, yes or no?
Oh, no, for me. I hate it. I hate gardening. Well, I absolutely fucking hate it. The furthest you'll get me, I'll cut the grass. Like, I know you didn't even do that. We've had that conversation before, eh? You've got your gardener. Or your grass cutter.
Grass cutter.
Whatever you want to call him. Because he does nothing else, eh?
Well, I'll come back to that.
Oh, interesting. So he's added on. So I cut the grass. And I'll put the furniture in the hut in October at some point, and I'll bring it back out in March at some point. That's about it. My wife does some plants and that. She's not a big gardener either. We've got the ones we've got them on the fence, the hanging basket sort of hangs on the fence. So the limit of mine is down to Dobry's, pay for floors, and drive them back up the road. I didn't pick them because I've no idea. Like fucking no interest actually. I like the colours, but I don't know what I would if you were to send me for flowers. I'd be like, I don't fucking know.
Aye, same.
So no interest at all.
Well, the boy that cuts through grass, right, Rod, he would normally do front and back garden, 15 quid. I went up the other year, right, 15 quid today, front and back garden. It's a 10-minute job for him, really, right? We've not got big garden. This winter, our back garden's been fucking decimated. So part of it's Doug, right? So Doug pissing about the place, and but because there was so much water, we've got big, huge bare bits in the back garden. So I think it needs returfed, pretty much is where we're at with it. And so I messaged him and says, listen, there's no point coming to do the back garden because there's too many bare bits. Right. But we have one sort of section of the garden where now it's starting to get too long, so it's definitely going to need cut. I says, the front garden's just a tiny wee bit. I says, Dick, if it's worth your while coming to do it, Rod. He says, I'll play it by ear, but I can. Rod's no one for, I'm sorry if you're listening, Rod, but my perception is no one for putting yourself out there to do extra work if you didn't have to, right? Fair dues, right? We'll like it, but I just doing the absolute bare minimum. So I don't think he's going to come and do it. But now it's getting longer. I've not got a lawnmower. I'm like, I have to fucking buy a lawnmower. Or I could chin the neighbour and say, go and let us borrow your lawnmower for 10 minutes to cut the front grass.
Or see when you're cutting your grass, mate, you fancy just nutting over the fence and doing that.
Just
$5.
I'll get a bottle of beer. So, anyway, Rod, sorry if you're listening. I didn't mean any offence in that, but if you do want to come and cut my front grass,
He'll be proud of that as a sort of
aye,
tradesman.
probably, aye, you would think so.
Aye.
You would think so.
He's sort of tradesman because I don't know if he is a landscaper
think-
or if he's just a grass cutter, odd job man sort of thing.
He put a back fence up. We had like a wee knee-high one, and he put up a big 6-foot fence, so that's good. Didn't want
That
it,
doesn't make
like,
you a
but
gardener. That doesn't
no,
make
it
you a
doesn't, I
gardener.
suppose.
No.
Right, Charlie McGrew thinks she made that up. We're into January now, Colin.
Oh, okay.
Quite fancy taking up dogging as one of my New Year's resolutions. Can any of the bangers recommend any local clubs or associations to join? Yes.
Can you? Where would you recommend?
No, I just was answering yes. I was going to leave it there. I was going to choose. Is it one of those? Could you do it? Yes. But
where is the sort of famous? There must be bits around here. It was Long Nidry in that, was that? Or was that just where you used to go, like when you were younger yourself?
I think it was rumoured for it. It was Long Nidry Bends, and
the
folk would go down.
That was the dogging though. When did dogging sort of start? Was that like about when Stan Collymore? That was the first time I'd ever heard of it. When Collymore got caught.
Aye. It's funny. Like, this is weird. I care how your brain works, right? Or my brain works. You mentioned that Stan Collymore. That was the first thing that I thought about as well. Is like famous for it. But there was also this sort of kid, Jonathan Ross's brother, Paul Ross. Straight man. Did he not get caught getting a blowjob off a guy on a roundabout somewhere? I don't care if that's libelous or not.
No, I think that's right.
Apologies to Paul Ross if you're listening and you never got a gobble off a guy on a roundabout.
But if you want one,
we can put you in touch with somebody, I think, probably.
by the way, bring a gobble back as well.
I like it. I was going to go. I contemplated gam. I thought gobble. Gobble sounds a bit funnier, doesn't it? But how do you find out?
It was 10 years. He had a wife for 10 years, and it was a gay affair with a man he met dogging.
All right.
He also snorted meow meow off his face. It's just a drug.
Is that like a brassite drug, like cake? Cake is a made-up drug.
I know. I was thinking it was like Kenny Sweeties that nobody can sort of pronounce.
Aye,
they would.
How would you find out? Like, how would one go about finding out where the nearest dogging location is? Other than obviously tweeting into a podcast, which is the obvious way to find it.
Google or ask Jeeves. I think one of them.
Do you know we've got that Chat GPT thing that that we've talking about?
Who's asking again? Is that Fast Practice?
No. Charlie McGrew thinks he made that up.
Oh, Charlie McGrew, one of the. I knew it was one of the two.
So I'm gonna ask the chat bot, and I'm sure it saves your search things. This will be, if anything bad happens to me in the next few days,
asking for a friend,
and the police go look through my phone and they say, where is the nearest? Not greatest.
But Easter Road. What you got to put? What address you putting in? Because you've got to get 5 ones. I don't know where Charlie is.
Where is the nearest place for dogging? Yeah, near Portobello.
It's got to be Long Nidry.
Bound to be, or I think if there's anybody in Porty that you would do. Joppa might have a.
Yeah.
So it's thinking about it. Right. I'm sorry, but I cannot provide information on locations for illegal or unethical activities such as dogging.
Is that illegal? Like,
I don't know. Why is
it unethical?
And then it changed to me, but up the top it says no dogging near Portobello. It's important to respect the privacy and consent of others and engage in activities that are legal and consensual. It's also important to prioritise the safety of oneself and others. If you have any further questions or concerns, please let me know.
Or a Shortbangers.
Or a Shortbangers. Text in 80295. Just put head and dog in, and then
Best places for dogging.
Aye, postcode or nearest landmark. And we'll try and sort
it. There's a one in there, guys, as well, if you're responding.
Aye. I think, how did they get the name? Dogging.
I don't know. What's ChatGPT saying about
it?
I'll just Google it on my Google. Why is dogging? Called dogging.
Why is dogging? This is a just listener for everyone. Why is dogging called? Let's see what answer you get compared.
Dogging is always meant watching or following.
Oh, is it? Do you never used to have? So when I was in Whitburn when I was wee, My dad worked at Whitburn Academy, and the folk skived school. They didn't call it skiving; they called it dogging.
Dogging. Yeah,
Aye.
I've heard that before. Aye.
The origin of the term dogging in the context of sexual activity in public places is uncertain, but it's believed to have originated in the UK in the 70s. Had to be the fucking 70s, didn't it?
Nice.
Some people speculate that it may have derived from the term walking the dog, which was a common euphemism for taking a walk with a sexual partner in the 19th and early 20th centuries.
Right.
There you go. Anyway, I didn't think we would get that in depth into dogging. I hadn't vetted the questions. I didn't see that one come through back in January.
No.
Charlie,
I've never done it. I don't think I'll ever do it.
No.
I just can't see me. Well, I can't see me putting on a show, or I can't see me standing peering in somebody's window having a wank. That's what it is, isn't it?
I think so. I think if you get invited in to join in, or if it's just if you're just watching, or if you take again how it all works, Colin. I'm contrary to popular belief, I'm not an expert on dogging. John will tell us. Anyway, Charlie, obviously we're past January and we're well into the year now, so if you did take it up, let us know how you got on. Imagine if we were the reason that he never, because we never read out the question, and he's been waiting, and whether his motivation now to take up dogging has totally died away. Would we have done him a favour, or have we done him out of a potentially good thing?
Yeah, it's a bit unknown, eh? They haven't never done it.
Sliding doors moment, innit? Whiskey Craig said, what tea would you like to see? This one does what it says on the box, which doesn't make it right. It's Yorkshire tea, and it's breakfast toast and jam.
Oh.
So I'm not convinced I would like to have toast and jam flavoured tea. I just like a cup of fucking Scottish blend or Tetley or something like that. Do you know, like a normal cup of tea.
Aye, breakfast tea or what they call it. That's what they call it. The Twinings one's good. The yellow box. That's a Twinings box area. It was in the photo.
No, Yorkshire tea.
Oh, that's Yorkshire.
Aye, and by the way, there's no way fucking Yorkshire. I ken Yorkshire tea. Like Yorkshire has a reputation for your flat caps, just fucking brass tacks and all the rest of it. They're not making fucking toast and jam tea. They just have a mug of tea, like Builder's tea. If ever there was a place that just had like a Builder's tea, it would be fucking Yorkshire.
I know that. I just didn't hate. Why would you pick that one up? I don't mind a wee peppermint tea now and again, or I've got one down the stair. I know it's blackcurrant and blueberry. It's quite nice as well.
You've changed, Tory.
I know. Well, an all but name. But no, aye, but they're all right. But I like proper tea better. But that one I just don't get. But then you know what? I'm just thinking that because it's got like you get. Well, I'm going to talk about coffee. But like if you read the description of coffee, it talks about cereal notes, right?
Aye.
That's got toast and jam. You get a coffee, it's got your Weetabix or whatever in it to make it.
It's funny, Jane sometimes, there was a coffee we got and she said it tasted like Weetabix. I never really noticed that with coffee, but she didn't like it at all. That's what it reminded her of. But anyway.
Got a coffee now for the machine. The machine in it. I was in the shop in St Andrews Square last week, and they've got one that's got whiskey, like where you like a note of whiskey coming at it.
Nice.
I wonder if you have that in the morning for you. I never bought any.
That's my smoking alarm going.
Is that what it is?
Aye. I'm not going to evacuate. Daughter's cooking tea.
Oh, that's it. He's
nothing to worry about. Standard.
I was glad it was my fucking headphones feeding back because I thought, I know. Aye, but whiskey and whiskey coffee. I wonder if you could have that and then drive to your work. Could be, because it'll not be like.
Aye, it'll just be the flavour. It'll not be actual. Yeah, aye, that'd be fine. Right, Guinness 2022. Should be Guinness 2023 now, eh? I recommend you update your username. That's first thing. Right. Topic: Stones of Destiny. If Scotland had gone for Indy in 2014, would the current Scottish PM still borrow it to Westminster for Charles' coronation, or maybe have audacity to say, no, please come up to Perth? If as well, I don't know, ISCO, or Independent Scotland, right? If as well, Independent Scotland ever went republic, does it stay or go permanently?
I don't care. Like, I don't care. I wonder who was PM when he said that. And it would still be surgeon. Probably
Aye, would have been, yeah.
idea she was going to resign. No idea. But aye, I'm not saying more. The what was he talking about? Stone of Destiny.
Stone of Destiny, aye. Just whether
I'm probably being blasphemous or something to somebody here, like, but I don't bother me. And I'm not bothered about. No, I've got my office is closed the week on Monday for the whole fucking thing. And we got all the other bank holidays added back to our days to take
you
whatever
having to
we
take
want.
it then.
But that one, the office is shut, just shut for everybody. It's obviously easier from an HR point of view. I assume like they can just say shut, everybody's off, then you don't need to piss about with days through the holiday system and that. But like, if there's any day, I'd rather be at my fucking work.
Aye.
It's that one.
We were in Asda just before come home to record this, and they've got lines of clothing out for it to commemorate it. The whole fucking section for it.
The
I'm
only
like,
good
who the
thing is,
fuck's...
I know, close your behind, eh? What the fuck are you doing? The only good thing about it is you go into Tesco now, just to get another brand I mentioned since you've done Asda. And you got I was going to say the seasonal aisle. I don't know if it's seasonal or just the coronation aisle, and they've got loads of crisps in that on offer. So,
oh well, that's
every
decent.
cloud.
every cloud. Will we see Coronation Chicken make a return, you think?
Well, did they not pick? I seen a headline. They picked a quiche or a pie or something. They said that's what it'd be.
A fucking typical. It'd be a fucking quiche. Like, I hate quiche, but
I can't imagine. Like, I don't mind quiche, but like, I don't have it very often. But I don't mind it. But coronation chicken quiche, because it's like curry, yeah.
Aye.
Like, it's just can't.
Curried egg.
But that is a thing, eh? Curried egg.
Curried egg's alright.
It just isn't. I don't know why they would. Obviously, can't think why they would have picked coronation chicken.
Right. Guinness 2022 said sponsored walks. This is the topic. Could the beleaguered Orange Order earn some goodwill for their traditionally divisive summer strolls by introducing some form of charity sponsorship? By the way,
chucking an egg at them or something.
Would you mind giving me £1 for some anti-Catholic sectarianism, please? How much are you going to do? Well, I will probably be doing 1 or 2 hours worth. I'll put you down £1 an hour. All right, there you go. Here's a £5 for you. Right.
It's incredible that's still a thing, eh? I get there's beliefs and all that, right? But like, that's just a hatred in the main. I think that's what they stand for. But right, go and have a wee fucking walk then. Go and have a wee walk and play your drums and that.
Dress up.
But no, we walk past that chapel. No, you're not getting to.
Aye.
It's like we get kept in the ground when Hearts, Rangers and Celtic are at Eastern Road. We're not to walk round there. But I want to. Aye, you're not getting it. No,
aye.
Just do that with their cunts.
Tough shit,
like,
aye. Yeah, I totally agree. Fucking nonsense, isn't it? Big babies. I know just saying, all the folk who are into that kind of stuff, big babies.
Anybody that's religious, big baby. Definitely say something blasphemous now, eh?
Oh, aye, without a doubt. It was just past Easter and that, where it's all about religion and that zombie Jesus. Right, 17th of January, this one is Guinness 2022 again. Venus Vacation is the topic. It's Venus with a V, just to be clear, in case there's any doubt on what I said there. A penis vacation would be something different. Going on holiday, son. No, they use you at all for a couple of weeks. Bastard.
Another couple of weeks.
Another couple of weeks. Right, scientists reckon 50 kilometres above the hellish 464 degrees C surface of Venus is the most Earth-like in solar system. Same temperature, air pressure, gravity and protection from UV and much closer than Mars. An oxygen-filled platform would also float a la Bespin. Would bangers go? So do you know what Bespin is, Colin?
No.
Bespin,
Star Wars.
It's Cloud City in Star Wars, where Lando Calrissian lives, and it's where Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite, and Luke Skywalker finds out that Darth Vader's his old man. Spoiler alert! Right. Sorry about that for everybody. So
that 45 years on.
Okay, significant place anyway, right? Bespin. No, I think that the commute there, you'd have to get toilets on the shuttle or whatever. That would be my concern with that, as always with these things.
How far? But can we not get what's the kind of speed we're travelling at to get there? How long is it taking?
How
We're
long
bringing Concorde back.
would it take to get to Venus? Guess what I'm asking, Colin, the chat GPT.
Oh, I thought you asked Yves.
No, this is like this is replacing John. John, whenever you can't make it, we're just bringing this in.
Get to say a wee left field answer in then as well.
Right, so it's about 25 million miles away. So there's no speed we could travel at that I'm going to make that on time. Like it's still alive, I didn't think.
It sounds awfully hot as well. What's it, 400 odd degrees, he said? It's like, I don't know. I can't think if I could cope that. I like the heat, but that seems extreme.
All right, hold on. The time it takes to, I may be over egging it a wee bit here. How long it take you to travel 25 million miles? I think it's too many.
Years.
Right. The time it takes to travel to Venus also depends on the type of spacecraft and the propulsion system used. For example, NASA's Mariner 2 spacecraft, which was launched in 1962, took about 109 days to reach Venus using a flyby trajectory. And then they've done it in 153 days as well. So,
right. So it'd be like a year to get there and back.
That's pretty fast, wasn't it? Like I would thought it would take.
How long would you go for, Jank? Like, so it takes you 6 months to get there, 6 months to get back. I just went with the 10 days.
10 days, aye. It's a fortnight's a bit much. Can you just put your in bed? We're not all inclusive. I quite like all that thing. Did you like the space travel? I'm fascinated by it. Like it's it's just fucking amazing. And the idea that there might be other life forms out there and all this kind of stuff, or there might no. That's like there's minuscule odds of there being none, but it's still possible. Right. I tell you what. There's another one for Guinness there, but we'll come back to him. St. Christopher says, if two wrongs don't make a right, what happens if you have two Collins? And this was, do you remember the episode we did, Colin, when you were on the screen twice? I can't remember what happened. Aye, you did. That
was ages ago, fucking hell.
It's interesting because on one of the pictures you're sort of touching your ear, the other one you're leaning forward laughing. I've got an expression like this where I'm describing how big something is by looking at it, and John's just chuckling away at it. So
that's a good point, eh?
If you have two Collins, just think yourself lucky. That's what I would say there. That was probably the nicest thing I've ever said about you, Colin.
I know, yeah. Okay, capture that.
Right, Tom Wallace, topic is thought. Do the officials get paid even though they call a game off? You'd imagine so.
I would think so.
You've still worked it. You've still turned up in that.
Well, you have to go and call it off as well, unless it's one of the ones where sometimes they'll send a local ref to do the decision. I would think then maybe they'll not get paid because they're paid by the match, the referee. But even if they get a partial fee.
Maybe. Right,
sure Dougal still got paid for the BBC after his attempt this week of.
Kevin's mental. That's probably one for Shortbangers. Because they fucking they downgraded it, so he's going out there and backed up his pal as they do, and then he's been stitched right up by the appeal committee. Going,
sure, what integrity? Like, can they go about refs have got the highest integrity? Well, that just shows his integrity.
That goes back to him, right? Without taking us off topic, extra time we said about how do you get the other referees to buy into what you're doing. Mind you, he sort of says like if you were going to cheat, how would you get everybody else to do it? Well, there's your answer, because they just circle the wagons and they'll back you up no matter what.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't care if the boy was cheating or not. He'd go, fucking hell, he's made a cunt of that. I'll back him up. I'll dig him out a hole.
Yeah.
The VAR ref's already done it and gone, fucking hell. He gets loads of decisions wrong. I better not flag this one's wrong, otherwise he'll get fucking pulled up by the supervisor. So
we've got a League 2 game next week.
Aye. Right, Guinness 2022. I've skipped ahead here. This is ridiculous. This is oh no, gone back to me. Colin, there's some even older than I initially thought here.
Really? Fucking hell. You're hopeless at this, eh? We need an administrator.
Psychology of clickbait. Just watched a fascinating 2-hour uni lecture on personality traits on YouTube from 2017 by Professor Jordan Peterson, who was lambasted in last week's Shortbangers ep. Half the panel formed sceptical view from long-form views or just clickbait ads.
Who was he again? He was
So-
sexism or something. I can't remember. Was
Aye,
he?
so he gets criticised for being misogynistic. He's sort of held up as a what's the word for? It's like white guys that kind of get their end away. There's like a name for these.
Oh, they guys,
Uh,
aye, because there was one done a killing recently, the boy down south.
Aye, what's the
Oh, fuck, what's that
what's
term? It's
that group
got
called? Because pretty much he's put forward as the champion. Some of his so what I would have to say with this, right? Sometimes you'll say something that you agree with, right? And I think it's important to kind of clarify that. It's like it's not that the guy's a fucking idiot or he doesn't care what he's talking about. Sometimes he says something, you go, well, that's perfectly fucking reasonable. He sounds very convincing. That I'm just going to go on a fucking Jordan Peterson rant again, but incels. Incels, I think that's the name.
aye, something like that.
Hold on. What is an incel?
Okay, well, you're Googling, right? Or you asking chatbot.
Aye,
If you even get chased in.
Again.
There was a guy, was it known like the guy doing in
Involuntary celibate, which refers to someone who's unable to find a sexual partner or engage in sexual activity despite a desire to do so.
Yeah.
However, over time, the term has become associated with a specific subculture that is characterised by misogyny, entitlement, and a belief in the superiority of men over women. Some people within the subculture blame women for their inability to find sexual partners and may engage in harmful and violent behaviour towards women. So, aye, that's it. That's it. Without going into Jordan Peterson,
Do you think he plays into that?
Yes.
I don't know who the guy is.
Aye.
I remember us talking about the topic and of that.
Aye.
Male sort of, because there's teenage laddies out there that think that cunt that's in the jail. What's his name? The boy.
It's just the boy that went after Greta Thunberg.
Aye. Andrew something.
Andrew Tate. Aye.
And like, there's teenage laddies that actually think that's cool, and I've got teenage daughters. Like, I'm like, no, that's just it. Then you bring one of them round the fucking house, like, then you go near them.
Correct. Aye, folk could put them up on a pedestal, which is mental. Anyway, what I would say, Jordan Peterson, like, you watch some of the stuff, you will agree with some of the stuff. You go, well, that makes fucking sense. I can see why you would say that. And then other stuff, you go, oh fuck no.
But he's teaching in unis though. Like, he's doing stuff.
I mean, he's fucking highly qualified and everything. And I'm an idiot, so I always feel like a wee bit right. I'm probably not on the strongest ground lambasting him because. You know, certainly for the stuff that he talks about, he's significantly more qualified than I am on it. But that doesn't necessarily mean you would agree with it, or there's no an opposing view. It's like some philosophers, you'd have like a left wing and a right wing philosopher that would disagree. They're both experts at what they talk about, but doesn't mean they're right. Aye. Yeah. Anyway, right. Good question. Right. And how did we form our opinion? So a combination of them would be the answer. Combination of long form and short form. Right, thanks for tuning in. We'll go and record another one of these before we do extra. Do you know what we'll do? We'll do extra next call and let's mix it up. And we'll start with the latest questions on that one and then we'll come back to these. Right. Thanks for tuning in. Keep the questions coming. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.